Welcome back. Today we're doing a deep dive into a really pivotal chapter of Bibliomancers, where what starts as a desperate escape turns into an absolute masterclass in strategy. Let's break it all down. All right, let's get right into it. Chapter 67, titled Stop Expectation. And wow, it kicks off with our heroes in a pretty tight spot, fleeing in the middle of the night before the sun is even up. So, we've got Maria, Elisa, and Ronan literally sneaking away from the inn. And they're doing it because they have this gut feeling, this very real fear, that Duke Mountbatten, the guy they're supposed to be negotiating with, has already laid a trap for them. So, you know that feeling when you escape a bad situation and you can finally breathe? They get a little bit of that. They're on the familiar road to Ironheart Delth, and for a second, things seem okay. But, and this is a big but, that peace doesn't last. For Maria, it's about to be shattered by a really heavy realization about what she's even fighting for. And that leads to some serious reflections on the road. This isn't just a physical journey anymore. It becomes this critical moment where Maria has to stop and question the entire purpose of her quest. And this quote, man, this is where it all hits her. She has this sudden, awful realization. Like, wait a minute, what's my endgame here? Best case scenario, she wins, she overthrows her father, and then what? She's stuck ruling a kingdom for the rest of her life, a job she would absolutely hate. This isn't just a doubt. This is her entire motivation starting to crumble. And once that first domino falls, everything starts to look different. She starts questioning everyone, especially this new ally, Duke Mountbatten. She's thinking, okay, is this guy really any better than my own father? I mean, he's about to sell his own daughter off for wealth and influence. Sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? And this right here is the big turning point. This is her new resolution. It's the moment Maria stops just reacting, just lashing out in anger and seeking revenge. She decides she needs to actually think, to strategize. It's a complete shift in her entire approach. Okay, so after all that heavy internal stuff, we get a total change of scenery and mood. They finally arrive at Ironheart Delth, the dwarven stronghold, and the welcome they get is, well, something else. The very first dwarf they meet just casually greets her with, "Slutty princess, welcome back." What's so great about this is that the dwarves have completely run with this nickname the dragon gave her. To them, it's not an insult. It's become this badge of honor, a term of endearment. It's fantastic. And it's not just the welcome, it's the place itself. For Elisa, it's absolutely mind-blowing. Imagine seeing this incredible carved city inside a mountain for the first time. It's described as a living work of art, and you can just picture her being completely speechless at the sheer craftsmanship. This warm welcome goes right to the top. The Thane himself, Grimrar, literally jumps up from his throne when he sees them. He doesn't make them come to him. He rushes to greet them. And again, he uses the title Slutty Princess with total respect. It just immediately shows you what kind of leader he is. And this is the amazing part. Maria hasn't even asked for anything yet. She hasn't even made her pitch. And Grimjar just says, "Your favor is granted." Boom, just like that. All because she saved his daughter. He sees her as this fearless hero, and their alliance is sealed right then and there. So the dwarves are in. Awesome. But now we see the new Maria in action, the strategic Maria. Before doing anything else, she turns to Elisa because she knows she needs to force a very, very difficult choice. And she does not sugarcoat it. She lays it out in these incredibly black and white terms. Option A, turn against your own father, save a bunch of people, and be true to yourself. Or option B, go through with the marriage, make your dad rich, and betray everything you believe in. The pressure is immense. You'd think she'd need a minute, right? But no. Elisa's response is immediate and so powerful. She's like, I don't need time. We're allies. She completely reframes the whole idea of betrayal. And then, this is so important, she pushes for a smarter, less violent path. She proves right here that she's not just a pawn, she's a leader. Okay, so Elisa is on board. And with her blessing, things start to move, and I mean fast. Maria turns to Grim, and what happens next is just a masterclass in dwarven efficiency. Get this, 40 minutes. That's it. That's how long it takes for the entire dwarven army to get ready for war. Think about that for a second. That's not just, yeah, we'll help you out. That is a level of readiness and commitment that is just wow. And Grimmer's plan is just as smart as his army is fast. Look at these orders. It's all about precision. Stun, don't kill. Use your gear defensively. Only hurt someone if you're getting hurt. And his #1 priority is to avoid a blood feud. This is about surgical justice, not a massacre. So wise. And the execution? Perfect. Scouts go out, 4 hours later, they're back. And the result? All 100 of the Duke's soldiers, the very ones Maria was worried about, are captured. The best part? The town has no idea. Not a single alarm raised. It's a completely silent, perfect takedown. All right, this brings us to the climax. The Duke's final stand. His army is gone, but he doesn't know it. So Maria, Ronan, and Elisa just ride into town to face him, and he is so smug, so sure that he's won. And then Maria just drops this bombshell. She doesn't beg, she doesn't threaten. She declares herself the head of a provisional government and arrests him. Can you imagine his face? She just completely seizes control of the entire situation with one sentence. It's an incredible power move. So the Duke, totally confused, does the only thing he can think of. He plays his trump card. He frantically blows his whistle, expecting 100 soldiers to come running to his rescue. And nothing. Just crickets. Complete, awkward, deafening silence. And that's when Maria just calmly lays it all out for him. Oh yeah, about your men? We have them. She tells him his daughter is taking over, that his own army is about to be used against her father. And she delivers it with this perfect, cutting little comment at the end. It's not just a victory, it's a total checkmate. So what are we left with? An absolutely masterful, bloodless victory built on strategy and strong alliances. But here's the big question to chew on. Is this the end of the war, or was this just the very first battle? Because it really, really feels like the game is just getting started.